Hello there, and welcome back to the neighborhood. We're looking at a new venture into IEMs by a company who has been selling components out of China, Aoshida. This is the Aoshida E20, which is a dual dynamic-driven IEM consisting of a 10mm beryllium-coated dynamic driver and one 8mm DLC diaphragm. Is this the upgrade over Kren's Project Red Zero? Let's get into it. The shell of the E20 is a soft-touch resin with a stacked metal faceplate with potentially what seems like it could be an open back design, as there is a metal mesh component to the faceplate, but the website refers to this as being a decorative piece. A 2-pin connection is utilized, and Aoshida sent me the gold version with a 3.5mm single-ended termination. The metal hardware is nice and small, but they use a rubber ring as a chin cinch rather than a bead or a nice piece of metal. And if you followed the channel for a while now, you know I think this is a cheap choice. I also would have liked them to have included a cable that would have allowed me the option of multiple balanced and unbalanced terminations. As the E20 sucked up power, and in a portable scenario, I would have preferred to run these balanced for the extra juice. So if you're going to pick these up, I might recommend picking up the balanced tripo and zoning cable instead, if it would meet your needs like it does mine. 2 sets of ear tips are provided. A set of wide bore silicone ear tips, and a set of small board silicone ear tips. But only the large board set sounded good, as the small board set brought all the sonics too far forward, while the wide board set sounded just right. A slim, cloth-covered carrying case with the Aoshida logo is also included. Overall, for $50, I think this package is nice, but I would like to see the chin cinch and termination options improved upon in future iterations. And still, for $50, the sound here is really what stands out. This will be my favorite new IEM to recommend at and below its price point, at least for now. Resolution and clarity are excellent, and the bass is actually pretty darn good in terms of its mount and detail and level of descriptiveness too. These have more of a sub-bass and low bass push that they rely on, more so than their mid-bass and upper bass drive, but it blends well and there's not really any bass bleed of any kind to speak of. Still, the low end is delivered relatively softly and without any fatigue, despite having emphasized dynamics. The song Girl Walks Into a Bar by Alt Bloom really dug deep, and it brought to mind imagery of the scene from the movie Kung Fu Panda while he recites the recognizable line, Skadoosh. But while this is certainly a bass-forward set, the mid-range is also represented well, and sonics persist decently well throughout the treble and into the air region too. I am able to observe some mild sibilance on certain sources, but on sources with any semblance of music to them, it never really grabs my attention. The timbre also does have some minor hints of a thin metallic quality to it, but I'm nitpicking there, and I'd only be overcritical pointing this out. Overall, I find its tone to be excellent, and general presentation to be musical and rhythmically engaging. Female vocals are more forward than male vocalists, but vocals in other sonics are never aggressive or harsh. The soundstage is also decently large and spacious, but does lack some depth here or there, depending on the track. Separation is more decent, and instrument distinctiveness is just better than average, but more than good enough for a $50 set. Decay and general transient reactivity are also really good for its price. I'm honestly hard-pressed to think of a better $50 set these days, as these seem like the clear runaway winner at the price at this point in time. I recently reviewed the $150 Truthear Nova and felt that these were a bit too relaxed and lacking in engagement for me. The E20 not only fixes these deficiencies to my ears, but also seems like an upgrade to that set too. It's also less warmed over, greater in its articulation, and more revealing in its nature than the Truthear Zero Red, an IEM that I also liked, but is simply outclassed by the more technical E20 at a slightly cheaper price. And while I kinda picked on Truthear for not using higher quality bass drivers in their Zeros, Aoshida hasn't followed suit with the E20, as it seems to have fashioned it with 2 quality drivers rather than just 1. It also smokes other dual dynamics, like the 7Hz Legato, which is also over twice the price of the E20. So this would be a great value buy to add to almost any collection. It's low and capable without going overboard. It not only outclasses the majority of $50 IEMs out there, but also many more expensive offerings from other manufacturers as well. To my ears, it sounds more like a $100 set than it does a $50 one. The bass response is special, detail is excellent, and it makes use of two high-quality dynamic drivers rather than trying to cheap out with just one as the competition has done. Thanks to Aoshida for sending the E20 into the channel for review. Even though they had some help from Let Shure on this one, this is an excellent first offering from them, and I look forward to reviewing more products from them in the future. I'll drop a link to the E20 as well as other social media access locations for the channel in the description below. And make sure that you've dropped a thumbs up on this video if you liked its content, and consider subscribing to the channel to support it if you haven't done so already. And with that, I'm out for now.